Good evening, everyone. So, as हामी listening to day 5 मा छौँ र let's continue from where we left. That was section 2. So, we were listening to a monologue where a manager was talking to a kitchen assistant and she was explaining the jobs, the benefits to them. So, हामी सुरु गर्छौँ है त अब यो section 2 को continue part है.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Now, let me tell you about some of the people you need to know. So, as I said, I'm Joy Parkins, and I decide who does what during the day and how long they work for. I'll be trying to get you to work with as many different people in the kitchen as possible, so that you learn while you're on the job. One person whose name you must remember is David Field. If you injure yourself at all, even if it's really minor, you must report to him, and he'll make sure the incident is recorded and you get the appropriate treatment.
Okay, so यो केसमा चाहिँ के छ भने यसलाई चाहिँ म्याचिङ द क्वेसन भन्छ हैन म्याचिङ क्वेसन भन्छ यो चाहिँ के छ भने यहाँ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटिजहरु दिएको छ जस्तै ए ट्रेनिङ कोर्सेस बी फुड स्टक्स सी फर्स्ट एड डी ब्रेकेजेस ई स्टाफ डिस्काउन्ट्स र एफ टाइम टेबल्स हैन रुटिन सो त्यस्तै गरी तलपट्टि चाहिँ 17 18 19 20 मा चाहिँ दे हेभ गिभन यु अ नेम अफ सर्टेन पिपल हैन जस्तै 17 मा जोय पार्किन्स 18 मा डेभिड फिल्ड 19 मा डेक्स्टर विल्स र 20 मा माइक स्मिथ सो नाउ व्हाट वी हैव टु रिमेम्बर इन दिस क्वेसन इज अ भेरी भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट इन्स्ट्रक्सन चाहिँ के हो भने यहाँ के भनेछ what is the responsibility of each of the following restaurant staff choose 4 answers from the box and write the correct letter A to F next to question 17 to 20 भनेपछि ए देखि एफ सम्म यो पार्ट चाहिँ तपाईहरुलाई उनीहरुको जब डिस्क्रिप्सन दिएको हो कुनै स्टाफको जब डिस्क्रिप्सन उनीहरुले डेली बेसिसमा गर्नुपर्ने काम दिएको छ भने तलपट्टि चाहिँ स्टाफहरुको नाम दिएको छ अब म्याचिङ गर्ने भनेर इट्स इजी वी क्यान फाइन्ड फिगर आउट हैन म्याचिङ गर्ने तर के कुरा याद गर्नु पर्यो भने फर एक्जाम्पल यहाँ ट्रेनिङ कोर्सेस छ जोय पार्किन्सले ट्रेनिङ कोर्सेस गराउँछ यदि इफ शी डज दैट भने we should not be writing training courses you'll be losing marks you have to write the alphabets the correct alphabet is A so Joy Parkins and on the right hand side for the Joy Parkins on the given space you have to write A यहाँ training courses लेख्नु भयो भने चाहिँ it'll be wrong है so अहिले भर्खर I think David Field को कुरा गरे जस्तो लाग्यो so actually फेरि सुनौ let's replay it
I'll be trying to get you to work with as many different people in the kitchen as possible, so that you learn while you're on the job. One person whose name you must remember is David Field. If you injure yourself at all, even if it's really minor, you must report to him, and he'll make sure the incident is recorded and you get the appropriate treatment.
Okay, as I said earlier, I will say it again and I will say it again and again ki listening र reading ma you will not find the text त्यो क्वेसनमा भएको टेक्स्ट or you'll not be able to match the same text with the audio or the reading passage त्यो कहिले पनि आउँदैन so you have to always keep in mind that the answers will be hidden in synonyms paraphrasing and similar words यो केसमा डेभिड फिल्डको कुरा गर्यो डेभिड फिल्डको कुरामा इफ यु इन्जोर योरसेल्फ भनेर भन्यो or if you need any medical treatment he is the right person you have to go to he will further assist you if required he will like refer you to some other hospital नभए चाहिँ he will give you त्यो basic treatment भन्यो अब त्यो basic treatment injured को कुरा के सँग छ training courses food stocks first aid breakages staff discounts timetable so definitely first aid but if you recall the audio you will not hear the speaker saying David Field will give you first aid भनेको पनि सुनिदैन right so what we'll hear is injure भयो भने medical treatment basic cure या basic treatment गर्न सक्छ भनेपछि answer is C so for that I will write 17 and your answer will be C alright अब त्यस्तै गरी let's hear it again है त okay
He's trained to give basic treatment to staff himself, or he'll send you off somewhere else if necessary. Then there's Dexter Wills. He's the person you need to see if you smash a plate or something like that. Don't just leave it and hope no one will notice. It's really important to get things noted and replaced, or there could be problems later.
Okay. अब डेक्स्टर विल्सको कुरा गर्यो डेक्स्टर विल्सले चाहिँ यु हेभ टु रिपोर्ट टु हिम फर एनी ब्रेकेजेस भन्यो भने ब्रेकेजेसको मिनिङ त धेरै हुनसक्छ तर यो ABCDEFमा चाहिँ ब्रेकेजेसको मिनिङ केसँग सिमिलर हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि ट्रेनिङ कोर्सेस फुड स्टक फर्स्ट एड इज डन यु क्यान चक द्याट आउट ब्रेकेजेस स्टाफ डिस्काउन्ट्स र टाइम टेबल्स होइन इफ यु ब्रेक समथिङ इफ यु क्रास समथिङ फर एक्जाम्पल प्लेट फुट्यो कप फुट्यो ग्लास फुट्यो भने चाहिँ द्याट इज ब्रेकेजेस इन होटल इन्डस्ट्रीको टर्म होइन सो यो ब्रेकेजेस भनेको चाहिँ इफ यु you know like crash something like if the thing falls out of your hand if it breaks भन्नु खोज्यो भनेपछि answer is for 18 your answer will be D. Okay, let's go for 19.
And finally, there's Mike Smith. He's the member of staff who takes care of all the stores of perishables. So, if you notice we're getting low in flour or sugar or something, make sure you let him know so he can put in an order.
Okay, अब Mike Smith को कुरामा चाहिँ training courses, food stock, first aid, breakages is done, staff discount is done, timetable बाँकी छ भनेपछि Mike Smith को केसमा चाहिँ if you need something perishable stock, a perishable भनेको कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ IELTS you have to be familiar or you have to know some vocabulary and meanings हैन त्यो थाहा भएन चाहिँ कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ अलिकति कम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ्न सक्छ हैन सो पेरिसेबल भनेको चाहिँ केही कुरा जो छिटो बिग्रिन्छ या छिटो सकिन्छ हैन छिटो बिग्रिनु सो के हो यहाँ भन्दा ट्रेनिङ कोर्स छिटो बिग्रिदैन फर्स्ट एड हुँदैन ब्रेकेज स्टाफ डिस्काउन्ट टाइम टेबल्स बाँकी के छ फुड स्टक यस फुड स्टक इन्भेन्ट्री हैन स्टोरमा चाहिँ कहिलेकाहीँ छिटो सामान बिग्रिन सक्छ या स्टोरमा चाहिँ यो स्टोरमा होटल इन्डस्ट्री या रेस्टुरेन्टको स्टोरको कुरा गर्दा चाहिँ फुडको स्टकको कुरा गरे हुन्छ राइट सो पेरिसेबल भनेको फुड आइटम हो फर माइक स्मिथ इट्स David Field was 18. I'm really sorry. David Field was 18. Dexter Wills was 19. Now I guess Mike's what's his name? It's Mike Smith is 20. So it's for food stock. भनेपछि your answer is B है त अब एउटा बाँकी छ राइट यो जोय पार्किन्सले चाहिँ के गर्ने रहेछ हु इज जोय पार्किन्स एन्ड व्हाट डज शी डु भन्ने कुरा हैन सो यसलाई अलिकति रिकल गरौँ है त
He's trained to get work with his... Now, let me tell you about some of the people you need to know. So, as I said, I'm Joy Parkins, and I decide who does what during the day and how long they work for. I'll be trying to get you to work with as many different people in the kitchen as possible, so that you learn while you're on the job.
Okay, so यहाँबाट what we figure out is the speaker, your monologue ma the person who is speaking, the woman who is speaking is Joy Parkins. She is the manager. The one who is speaking in this monologue is the manager. Her name is Joy Parkins. So उसको केसमा चाहिँ she will give you routine, what you have to do, where you have to do, when you have to do it भनेपछि के हो ट्रेनिङ कोर्सेस हो हैन she will give you training भने ट्रेनिङ कोर्सेस फुड स्टक इज फिनिश फर्स्ट एड इज फिनिश ब्रेकेज इज फिनिश म्यानेजरले डिस्काउन्ट दिदैन स्टाफ डिस्काउन्ट छैन भने चाहिँ लेफ्ट इज टाइम टेबल सो म्यानेजरले के गर्छ दे विल अरेन्ज योर टाइम टेबल दे विल instruct you to do your work in time and they will give you what work to be done at what time भनेर so Joy Parkins को मा let's do this Joy Parkins को केस मा it's I guess that is alphabet F so this is the answer है so यसरी यो चाहिँ म्याचिङ पनि एउटा क्वेसन आउँछ है so now as we are done with your section let's go for section 3 so as usual we have 4 audios अब हामी first audio सुन्यो dialogue second monologue सुन्यो अब third हो this is dialogue so let's hear it
Section 3. You will hear two students called Trudy and Stuart, who are both studying to be librarians, discussing a paper that they are going to write together. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 23.
Alright, let's go to the questions. Your dialogue, it's a dialogue between two students. Their name are Trudy and Stuart. So from the name you can figure out Trudy is a woman and Stuart is a man, right? So now the first question भनेको multiple choice question, multiple single छ, right? So एउटा answer हुन्छ. What will be the main topic of Trudy and Stuart's paper? As we know, they are student and they are writing a paper. उनीहरुको पेपरको topic
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 23.
What will be the main topic of Trudy and Stuart's paper is the question, eh? Single
OK, Stuart. We need to start planning our paper on public libraries. Have you thought of an angle yet?
Well, there's so much we could look into. how libraries have changed over the centuries, for instance, or how different countries organise them? What do you think, Trudy?
Maybe we should concentrate on this country and try and relate the changes in libraries to external developments, like the fact that far more people can read than a century ago, and that the local population may speak lots of different languages.
We could include something about changes in the source of funding too.
Yes, but remember we're only supposed to write a short paper, so it's probably best if we don't go into funding in any detail.
Right.
Okay. So what will be the main topic of Trudy and Stewart's paper भन्यो? So Stewartले के suggest गर्यो भने सुरुमा, how about we write something on libraries from different countries, हैन? एउटा country को different countries भन्दा Trudy contradicted the point, saying that धेरै countryको गर्दाखेरि it will be a tough research हुन सक्दैन, so let's focus on one country भनेपछि how public library services are organized in different countries हैन, किनभने उनीहरुले यो लेख्ने हैन, this is not the paper they will write, so let's chalk this out. Second को कुरामा how changes in the society are reflected in the public libraries भन्यो. अब as we know public library भनेको it's a government को library हुन्छ सक्छ, so more or less everyone has access. So we live in a society with different where different race of people live, people with different religion live, हैन, different skin color live, so public library मा सबैलाई access हुन्छ. So Trudy ले चाहिँ के भन्यो भने how changes in society are reflected in the public libraries को बारे लेखौं भने भन्यो. So answer is B. तर C किन हैन भन्दाखेरि Stewart ले फेरि के भन्यो भने let's research or talk about the funding the library gets, हैन, public library मा भएको funding हरु चाहिँ कसरी they are updated or change भनेर भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ Trudy again contradicted him by saying funding मा गर्यो भने will take vast research, धेरै टपिक हुन्छ, त्यही भएर funding मा नगरौं भनेपछि now they have decided, Trudy and Stewart, the two students have decided that the main topic of the paper will be how changes in society are reflected in the public libraries, that is B. So I'll write the answer here so it will be easy for everyone. So answer is B. Alright, so let's go for another question, right? So another question is, they agree that one disadvantage of free digitalized book is that our Mathipatti, they were yet to decide on what paper, like on what topic they should write paper on. They decided they will write paper on how changes in the society are reflected in public libraries, right? So the second question is, they agree. This time not contradict them, this time we have to find for what do they agree, you know? They agree that one disadvantage, they both have agreed that there are many disadvantages of digitalized book, but they're gonna mention one. So what do you mean by digitalized book? So as we know, like before few years, like 10-15 years back, books we used to read in schools or colleges, or even like in general, you know, like scenario, books were always hard paper and physical book हुन्थ्यो, hard copy book हुन्थ्यो. तर अहिले चाहिँ due to, you know, like update in technology as we live in 21st century, so there are lots of digitalized book. Now by digitalized book you mean Kindle, you know, you can write Apple book where you can read, हैन, कम्प्युटरमा पनि बुक पढ्न मिल्छ. सो अहिले चाहिँ त्यस्तोलाई चाहिँ डिजिटल बुक भन्छ, where you don't need a physical hardcover book but you can download or read it from through your computer or your phone or your iPad, हैन, or any like tab जेमा पनि. So त्यसको disadvantage के दुईजनाले agree गरेछ अरे. They agree on one disadvantage of digital book. Let's hear it, right?
Right. Well, shall we just brainstorm a few ideas to get started?
OK. We obviously need to look at the impact of new technology, particularly the internet. Now that lots of books have been digitalised, people can access them from their own computers at home.
And if everyone did that, libraries would be obsolete.
Yes.
But the digitalised books that are available online for free are mostly out of copyright, aren't they? And copyright in this country lasts for 70 years after the author dies. So you won't find the latest bestseller or up-to-date information.
That's an important point. Anyway, I find it hard to concentrate when I'm reading a long text on a screen. I'd much rather read a physical book. And it takes longer to read on a screen.
Oh, I prefer it. I suppose it's just a personal preference.
Okay, so एउटा disadvantage they both agreed on भन्दाखेरि Trudyले चाहिँ के भन्यो भने I hate reading digital book because they can be difficult to read and they are very lengthy भनेर भन्यो, हैन. यो त Trudyको point of view हो नि त, दुवैले agree गरेको छैन, किनभने Stewartले के भन्छ भने okay, I believe that is personal choice या personal view भनेर भन्यो. So दुवैले यसमा agree गरेन. तर के कुरामा agree गर्यो भने they are generally old. अब digital book कसरी old हुन्छ भने बाहिरतिर चाहिँ there is a rule रहेछ कि when the author dies, an author writes a book ABC, हैन, then the author dies, to 70 years from the date the author dies, no one can edit the book, rewrite the book, publish the second copy के पनि गर्न मिल्दैन. When the author dies, त्यसको 70 years सम्म no one can even edit or touch the book भनेपछि after that they can, but 70 years is a long time, right? So 70 years सम्म if a book ABC cannot be re-edited, rewritten or published or part 2 sequence जे निकाल्नु नि मिल्दैन भने they are old, no one will read it किनभने त्यो टाइममा त्यही टपिकमा many other writers will already have written the book. So digital books are generally old. So one disadvantage is that digitalized books are generally old. So answer is 22 ko answer is C. Okay. Now guys, as usual, the 15 minutes we are doing it here live. So after this I'm taking it to Zoom. If you want to be part of this online class, you can always dial the given number and talk to my colleague and they will help you to enroll.